All right, guys, so we're going to be doing another comic review from a book sent to me by my good friend Chris. Chris, thank you as always. And today we're going to be doing Wonder Woman Fury, the third volume in Tom King's Wonder Woman run. As always, Chris, I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for sending me this comic, as well as others. And yeah, so let's get started with the review. I know every time I bring up the name Tom King, it's always met with some form of contention, one form or another. And I get it. Like, as much as I am a fan of Tom King's writing, I will admit that there are points where it's like, it doesn't work, such as, I've said that Heroes in Crisis was a interesting event that, while it wasn't totally his fault for how bad it failed, the big thing is that, I feel like there was a bit of meddling from Dan DiDio, and there was an interesting story there, but the execution didn't end well. And also the second half of his Batman was pretty bad. And I will admit that even this run has a little contention with me, because I didn't I really love the opening to this series. The Volume 1 was great. Volume 2, on the other hand, I feel like Volume 2 really kind of it kind of got shaken for me. Yeah, it went off a little, probably because of the Absolute Power tie-ins. That was what those tie-ins where Diana's teaming up with Wonder Woman, not great. Like, those were generally not great not great tie-ins, and the story itself kind of rattled a bit. So, does Tom King get back on the horse in Volume 3? I think so. I personally believe that he definitely gets back on the horse in this storyline. Essentially, some catch-up. Let's play some catch-up real fast. The big thing with this book, and the big overarching story is that Diana is at war with and the Amazons themselves are being hunted by the U.S. government after a Amazonian killed several people in a bar. This led to the U.S. government creating some anti-Amazonian laws, and it also led to Wonder Woman discovering the secret king of America, known only as the Sovereign. The Sovereign also uses the legendary lasso of lies to try to corrupt people and turn her against Diana. Throughout the comic, the Sovereign has been trying to use various of Wonder Woman's villains. Sorry, I had a complete and total brain fart there. So yeah, he's basically trying to get Diana. He's trying to off Diana with a lot of her villains, but Diana has her sisters at her side, Yara, Donna, and Cassie. And they wage a private war with this. And this war sadly takes a much darker turn, because what happens is that this book this volume quite literally opens up with Steve Trevor being killed by the Sovereign. That's the whole overarch of this storyline, is that Steve is murdered. Steve is brought in, the Sovereign shoots him dead, and now the Sovereign is like, well, what's Diana gonna do? What's Diana gonna do now? She's helpless. She's not gonna, what's our next move? And remember, this whole overarching thing is that it's the Sovereign telling the story to Diana's daughter, Trinity, in the future. So Trinity's trying to find out about this whole story, and Diana in the present, our present, is waging her war, but at first she goes to see Steve in the underworld. And this comic, this whole storyline really broke me. Tom King, I've said this before, Tom King is like an emotional anglerfish. This dude knows how to hit you right in the freaking feels, because the whole story just is this whole issue of how Diana deals with the loss of Steve Trevor is heartbreaking. And now that's 2 times he's killed important characters in a DC characters mythos. I have 2 nickels now, which isn't a lot, but it's weird it's happened twice. And they're in canon deaths, because I know someone's going to say, oh, but he killed this character off and that character. Yeah, but those are Black Label out of canon books. This is now the 2nd time he's killed an in-character book. I mean, in-character In-universe character, excuse me. So yeah. Also, what also digs the emotional knife is that Diana names her daughter. Trinity's real name is Elizabeth Marston Prince. Elizabeth Marston, for all of you who don't know, Elizabeth Marston is the woman that the creator of Wonder Woman, the original creator of Wonder Woman, based the character off of. So there's a lot of deep connection to the character and lore of Wonder Woman and the creator themselves. Yeah. I also love that there's a great a great side story where Diana teams up with Detective Chimp, and it's just them exposing the Sovereign. And God, I love the artwork by I absolutely adore the artwork by Daniel Sempre because it's just so good. I mean, Tom King always gets the best artists, no matter what. But it's stuff like this that just makes you go, damn. I really did like how this comic ended, because it's very Wonder Woman. But now we come to the point where I'm a little hesitant. Now I'm going to preferences. I do want to read Volume 4 when it comes out in trade, but that won't be till April. But here's the thing, because now we've come to the point, and it's the same thing I've talked about with. As much as I love Tom King, there is an end point. There is a certain level. I think he works best when he's not doing an ongoing. Case in point, I think after the War of Jokes and Riddles, that everything else is just kind of bad. It goes on too long. I know even people say, oh, but it should be after the first 3 volumes. I personally like War of Jokes and Riddles, so I would say stay there. But now we go into the second act of this book, because now we've I originally thought it was Tom King tells this 3 volumes, then he goes to do the Trinity book, and someone else takes over after him. But that's not the case, because now Tom King's still going. Again, Tom King, I feel like his style of writing isn't meant for ongoings. But again, I'm not this could easily turn out pretty good. But I'm still worried that it might burn it. We may get to the point where it's oh, we're going on too long. So Volume 4 will be a make or break for me. And I'm already kind of worried because of this whole Mouseman nose thing. I'm wondering what that's all about, along with this whole. I am interested though in this new villain called the Matriarch. Curious about that. All in all, this was a good ending, but now we're headed, because I feel like the first 3 volumes were a solid one, even if Volume 2 had its F-ups here and there. But now Volume 4 will be officially uncharted territory, so we'll see what happens next. Anyway, Chris, thank you once again for this book, and if you guys read this volume, let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of it. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.